Good evening, you're with Explosive Exclusive. I'm Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan, and along with Swati Joshi, we'll be bringing to you the top stories and exclusive stories here on the show tonight. And up front, Times Now has been fighting for justice for Sushant Singh Rajput right from the beginning. It's a campaign due to which this case has now been handed over to the CBI, and lapses so far have come to light, Swati.
Well, Madhav, but there are individuals who are questioning the coverage. There seems to be an orchestrated bid to muzzle our reportage and the voices of those individuals who are fighting for justice. From Times Now to Subramanian Swamy and Kangana Ranaut also, those who are fighting for justice for SSR have been targeted. And what's worse is that the state appears to be backing this gag lobby. Listen in to the Home Minister of Maharashtra first.
आप सभी जानते हैं कि मुंबई पुलिस की तुलना महाराष्ट्र पुलिस की तुलना स्कॉटलैंड यार्ड पुलिस से की जाती है। एक सक्षम पुलिस दल महाराष्ट्र का है। ऐसी हालात में कुछ लोग उनको मुंबई पुलिस को महाराष्ट्र पुलिस को टारगेट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। उसके खिलाफ में जो सीनियर रिटायर्ड IPS अधिकारी है वो कोर्ट में गए और जो उन्होंने जो कदम उठाया है उनका मैं स्वागत करता हूँ।
Right, let's go across to our reporters who are joining us live with us are Arunil, Siddhant, Kajal and Tamal. I'll come to you first, Siddhant, and let me begin by asking you, this certainly seems to be an orchestrated bid. It's not a one-off because there are so many voices coming out to gag those who want to articulate their views on this particular case. Siddhant.
Well, you see, that's absolutely right, Madhav. It had started from Aghadi Netas. Then a day before yesterday, it was retired IPS officers of Maharashtra, those who had filed petition in High Court asking to stop the media coverage, calling it slandering and name shaming of Mumbai police. Then today you see that how Kangana Ranaut is being attacked by various political parties, including the Aghadi leader. So somewhere, Madhav, it is a bit to stop this entire campaign, Justice for SSR. Now the fact here is, Madhav, I've been saying it from very first day, that what all facts, what all stories we are putting out for our viewers, we are following due diligence, we are doing our homework properly, we are verifying facts. Despite that, on our coverage also questions are being raised, and even during the hearing in High Court, Times Now reportage was also mentioned. So you see the way Times Now, even our channel, is also under the attack and under the criticism by one particular lobby, which includes netas, which includes ex-cops, which includes film actors, and at the same time people those who are supporting
before
Times
I go
Now
across to Arunil as well as Kajal and in fact Tamal, who are joining us on the broadcast, I also want to quickly go across to Poonam, who has with her the letter that has been written by the Producers Guild of India, which has very clearly come out and attacked all those who are saying that they are doing all of this only for commercial interests, and that's an absolutely shocking statement to make, Poonam.
Absolutely, it's an open letter, Madhav and Swati, that has now been put out on Twitter by the Producers Guild. I'm just going to quickly read for our viewers just two lines that sort of sums up of what they're trying to really say. It goes on to say, a picture has been painted of the industry as a terrible place for outsiders to aspire to, a place that treats those who dare to enter it with contempt and derision. A murky den of substance abuse and criminality. It goes on to say this narrative is salacious enough for the media to exploit to great effect in order to boost its ratings, readership and page views. All we're doing, Madhav, is asking questions, but this is being seen as an attempt to manipulate the case by the media only for its TRPs, only for its commercial gain, which is the most ridiculous allegation that has come in from the Producers Guild. And what's even more shocking, Madhav and Swati, is that several bigwigs from Bollywood have actually come out and supported this. I'm going to quickly take you through these tweets that have now been put out. Abhishek Bachchan has retweeted this Producers Guild letter. It says, in solidarity. The same has been done by Sonam Kapoor as well. In solidarity, she's retweeted this tweet by the Producers Guild, which is the open letter. So has Janelia Deshmukh. She has also come out and put out this hashtag which says, in solidarity. Apurva Mehta is the CEO of Dharma Productions, owned by Karan Johar. He also goes on to say, in solidarity always, has retweeted the Producers Guild of India open letter, which only talks about why the media is asking these questions. They claim it is only for commercial gain.
Interesting.
B-Town now says don't malign the film industry, but where was the B-Town when the Mumbai police was rounding up representatives of big production houses when they were investigating the so-called nepotism angle, which was initially all based on hearsay. But here on Times Now, we've put out facts. We have highlighted the lapses and the loopholes in the Mumbai police's investigation. The lobby also needs to watch this very, very closely. This is what we exposed. Now, of course, the drug conspiracy is unraveling. Gag Times Now is their agenda. But this is what we exposed, viewers. Chats and CDR exposed Team Rhea and the drug nexus. The question is, why did the Mumbai police miss this angle? The Enforcement Directorate stumbled upon the drug angle. They had taken in their possession the digital devices that the Mumbai police clearly did not do so. And we here exposed the WhatsApp chats. Time of the death was missing in the post-mortem report, but clearly the Mumbai police never paid any attention to the fact that Sushant Singh Rajput's death timing was never mentioned in the autopsy report. And why is it that the Mumbai police sought no second opinion on that? We exposed this lapse. We exposed this loophole and questioned the Mumbai police on their investigation. 4 calls were made and 1 SMS exchange between Rhea Chakrabarti and Mr. Trimukhe, who is the DCP Bandra zone of the Mumbai police. Why DCP and not the investigating officer called accused number 1, the prime accused in the case, which is Rhea Chakrabarti? Why did the lobby not question the Mumbai police then and now wants to get Times Now? After CBI interrogation, Rhea Chakrabarti rushed to Santa Cruz police station. The question is, did Rhea tattle on CBI's posers? The questions that CBI was asking Rhea Chakrabarti, was she sharing the information with the Mumbai police? Why did Rhea Chakrabarti go to Santa Cruz police station? Something that the lobby should have asked Rhea Chakrabarti. Within an hour of plea, the police rushed to protect Rhea Chakrabarti. The question is why no alacrity on SSR's dad's plea in February. There were WhatsApp messages exchanged between Sushant Singh Rajput's brother-in-law and the then DCP of Bandra zone, Paramjit Dahiya, telling the DCP that Sushant's life was in danger. There was no follow-up action. Cooper Hospital says only the investigating officer can give permission. The question is, did the investigating officer arrange illegal 45-minute visit? Whose visit are we talking about? This is Rhea Chakrabarti's visit. Why was it allowed? 2 calls to investigating officer Bhushan Belnekar on 15th and 16th June. And why was the case discussed with Sandeep? These are the questions that Times Now has asked Madhav, that the lobby clearly has missed. They just want to gag Times Now, stop us from covering each and every angle. And they clearly have no answers to the exposés that we've made, Madhav.
Well, absolutely, Swati. Stay with us. I'm also requesting our reporters to stay on with us. We have some breaking news coming in at this moment. The NCW has taken note and it has countered the gag media lobby. Says Sir Nayak Pratap should be arrested for threatening Kangana. That is a big statement coming in from the National Commission for Women, which has taken note of these threats, and open threats at that, which have been made to Kangana Ranaut, amongst others. Let me quickly go across to Kajal for more on that. Kajal, now strong words of rebuke coming in from the National Commission for Women, no less.
Yes, in fact, though Pratap Sarnaik is someone who lives in Thane, the Mumbai CP has been alerted, and Kangana Ranaut lives in Mumbai, so the jurisdiction would be of the Mumbai police. Now we'll have to see whether the Mumbai police acts on this and actually takes any action against Pratap Sarnaik. The NCW has directly on Twitter, Rekha Sharma, they're saying that they should be arresting Pratap Sarnaik for these kind of threats. Remember, he was the first Shiv Sena leader who had come right out after Kangana Ranaut's statement saying that she'll return on the 9th, asking for the Shiv Sena women to try and give her a fitting response once she returns to Mumbai. So we will have to wait and watch whether the Mumbai police, follows the directive of the NCW and takes action against Pratap Sarnaik.
The question is, and let me go across to Arunil. The Netas have crossed all lines, Arunil, and this is arrogance clearly speaking. So if you question the Mumbai police and the investigation or the delay or the intent of the Maharashtra government, then an action will be taken against you. Then you will be threatened. You would be reminded what the maximum city has done for you, and even going to the extent of saying, do not come back. You have no right to live here.
Well, it is a politics of convenience that has been opted by the Mahavikas Aghadi leaders. If somebody is criticizing the Mumbai police for the botch-up investigation that they have done, then a petition is filed. The Maharashtra government will file the petition against a gag on media channels which are reporting actor Sushant Singh Rajput. And if at all anybody is speaking against the Mahavikas Aghadi government in Maharashtra, then that person will not be allowed to enter the city of Mumbai, like in the case of Kangana Ranaut. If you look at it, some of the threats that have come up, clearly inciting violence, clearly inciting their party cadre is being seen from the Shiv Sena particularly. Pratap Sarnaik clearly saying that if at all, if our Shiv Sena women workers blacken the face of Kangana Ranaut, or if they attack her, if they manhandle her, Shiv Sena is going to take the responsibility of it. These kind of threats are being issued by the Shiv Sena workers, and immediately you could see response from the Shiv Sena women workers. In fact, in the front of the Sena Bhavan also, now protest has been carried out. They are blackening the posters of actress Kangana Ranaut. So this is clearly Gunda Raj that has been happening in the state of Maharashtra, if you look at it, because somebody who's speaking in favor, they will support them. Somebody who's against and basically speaking for justice, they are completely against.
Arunil, I want to quickly go across to Tamal now and get a quick word from him. Tarunil, this is completely unacceptable. The manner in which open threats are being issued, the manner in which there is a concerted effort at gagging a particular film star for coming out and actually speaking the truth or asking questions. You know, just because one has made a career in the city does not mean that one cannot ask questions, Tamal.
Well, Madhav, Shoot the Messenger has always been, a character as people have always tried deriding the people who are trying to bring out facts. Here in this case, Times Now has been derided. We have seen Kangana Ranaut's, opinion has been questioned. But it's quite surprising, even though when people are coming out in solidarity with Bollywood and showing support and showing their tribe love, nobody questioned when Sushant Singh Rajput's body and the picture of his body was leaked out. That was possibly the most shameful and disgraceful act conducted by people, could be Mumbai police, could be insiders, and that many has construed as nothing but disrespect to the dignity to death. And that's where lies the hypocrisy of all those people who are today questioning the objectivity of ours in continuous and relentless reportage on this issue. And most importantly, you have to understand the investigation Mumbai police had carried out, it had a specific direction. After central agencies were given the responsibility to investigate, the dimension and the dynamics has changed of the investigation. And that also brings to fore a very legitimate question: what did Mumbai police miss out? Why did Mumbai police miss out? And whether there was any specific reason and purpose behind it. Because now it seems like Mumbai police had completely brushed aside the drug angle, and now the drug angle has taken center stage. We have also seen Mumbai police never
Tamal, stay on with us. We're also taking some calls on the broadcast. Our viewer O.P. Swaminathan is joining us from Bengaluru at this point in time. Sir, good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. This ex-policeman, where was their conscience when the police did not take any action on the WhatsApp message to protect Sushant? Similarly, where was they when this other police officers are directly contacting the accused? They are not there. Where were they when they are botching up other things? And now when they are the Shiv Sena fellows and the LC fellows are threatening Kangana Ranaut, why these so-called policemen who have no conscience don't condemn it?
Well, absolutely. Those are some very, very valid questions, Mr. Swaminathan. I'd like to thank you for joining us. Our next viewer with us is Deepak, joining us from Thane. Yes, Deepak, your views.
Yes. The thing is, instead of the Shiv Sena worrying about the people during the lockdown, we have been staying for months. They are threatening people, those who are wanting to speak out justice.
Right. Deepak, thank you very much for connecting with us and for following our coverage. Sonia, another viewer of ours, is joining us from Sydney at this point in time. Go ahead, Sonia. What do you want to share with us?
Yeah, look, this is all, you don't have to listen to this Bollywood biggies. They didn't come out when the actual SSR thingy was happening. It's all botched up. It's high time now India should clear this mess. It is very messy, very, very, very messy, and they should put them all behind the bars. All big Bollywood stars, I really feel ashamed of them. They don't never come out and say anything. whatever is happening in the world.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. Yes, Sonia, thanks so much for joining us. I think those are some very pertinent points that are made while they are silent on several other important issues. Suddenly on this, they come out and articulate themselves. Our next viewer with us is Vaibhav joining us from Chennai. Vaibhav, your views?
Yeah, from the day one, there has been many confusions. When the case was transferred to Mumbai police, they were in a hurry to finish the close as it was suicide. And later, when the CBI got transferred the case, RIA was in a urge to transfer the case to Mumbai police. So this means Mumbai police is helping RIA. And definitely RIA is a small fish in this case.
All right, Vaibhav. Thank you very much for following our coverage and for your feedback and your thoughts as well. Varadarajan is joining us from Bengaluru now. Go ahead, Mr. Varadarajan.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
See, if you have not brought this to the notice of the public, it could have been remained. See, the entire thing could have been under. They have hidden.
All right. Thanks so much, Mr. Varadarajan, for joining us. And Swati, perhaps some would find it shocking, some would find it not so shocking, is the fact that those who are coming out and tweeting, saying that they are in solidarity with this statement of the Producers Guild are those who perhaps would have that tag or the charge of nepotism on them. Do you find that a clear pattern in those who have tweeted over the last half an hour or so?
Absolutely. In fact, they were silent when representatives of these big production houses were being called, because the Mumbai police was then working on the so-called nepotism theory. Back then also they tried to only shield themselves and not speak out about this menace in Bollywood. And then over 2 months' time passes and the Mumbai police comes to no conclusion. That's when these questions were being raised about the lapses.
Well, absolutely. And in fact, let's open this up and go across to our guest, Swati, because we have with us Asif Bhamla, President of the Bhamla Foundation, Pratik Som, Advocate of the Supreme Court, joining us. Mr. G. Radhakrishnan, Shiv Sena supporter, is also with us. And I want to go across to him first. Mr. Radhakrishnan, what is absolutely shocking is this brazen attempt at silencing those who are articulating their views, sir. Should questions not be raised in a democracy? Can questions not be asked of a government about its lapses, about its acts of omission and commission?
Let me make it very clear that actress Kangana Ranaut, she must be sent to lunatic asylum.
So you will blacken her face. You will threaten her with violence.
Because
you don't agree with her views. You think she's a lunatic, so you'll say beat her up.
Maharashtra and Mumbai, she is blaming the government, she is blaming the police.
So she has every right to do that.
If she cannot live in Maharashtra.
Sir, you may not agree with her. If you don't agree with her, does that mean you will threaten to beat her up? What kind of logic is this, sir?
What does it mean?
No, what does this threat of violence mean? First, to explain that to me.
The CBI themselves, they are blaming the media, no? You are giving the wrong messages to the people.
Who's giving a wrong message?
What are you talking about?
Over 2 months, your police only kept on looking into the nepotism angle, while the family kept on saying that you need to also focus on the financial irregularity aspect. They kept on alleging that maybe certain medications that were given to Sushant Singh Rajput drove him towards the end. But all you can do at this point in time is say that if you're questioning us, you can't stay in Maharashtra.
Threaten an actress, it is not a request for Shiv Sena. She must be suffering from some acute mental depression.
Okay, so if you question, then you are suffering from some acute mental depression.
This is even worse, because the point is that one thing is to threaten violence. Now you are shooting the messenger and you're claiming that person is insane just because that person raises questions. Let me take that thought across to Asif Bhamla. Asif Bhamla, do you agree with these views of Mr. Radhakrishnan, who says that not only is, of course, he appears to be at least justifying these threats of violence, but also says that she's insane because she's asking these questions? Do you agree with that view?
You see, one can certainly ask questions. It's an individual's prerogative. But here I would like to... now there are two aspects to it. One is the Sushant angle, in which, of course, there's been laxity on the part of the Mumbai police. But at the same time, when it goes to Kangana's statement, you see, of course, I do understand that that Mumbai police is at the beck and call for Riaz. Whenever she's called, the police is available in a half-hour notice. There were problems when from February onwards, when Sushant's father did put up a complaint, the complaint had not been addressed. So certainly there has been bias towards that, but I will certainly not blame, or I will not certainly conclude any wrongdoing to the of the Mumbai police with staying to Mumbai.
Wrongdoing or no wrongdoing. The point here is was the Mumbai police even looking into the right angles despite the family highlighting what they thought was wrong in this entire case, and what could have been what could have been what could have been the focus of the investigation that might have led the Mumbai police to the actual reason. Let me go across to Swapnil Kothari, senior lawyer on the broadcast. And Swapnil Kothari, you've been with us from day one, ever since Times Now has been covering this entire angle. And be very careful of how you respond, Swapnil Kothari, because Mr. Radhakrishnan might just turn around and say you also need to be sent to a mental asylum because you're questioning the Mumbai police and the Maharashtra government.
Well, it's not the questioning of the Mumbai police, that I think is rattling people. What is rattling people is the fact that, there are some certain skeletons which people don't want, to be coming out. So, Mumbai police is one example of it, where we are questioning, because, you see, I'm a professional lawyer. And I know how the police investigations should work. And if you take 60 days and, you've had several other retired police officers who've come on TV and said that this is an all-India history, that it takes 64 days for an inquiry to take place without any conclusion. So that is something which, has rattled many people across the country, and rightfully so. So, I have always believed that the inquiry should have been completed within 10 to 15 days, because that is what under 174 CRPC the inquiry is, Swati. And, within 10 to 15 days, you have to say simply that whether it's suicide, whether it's homicide, and if it's suicide, case closed. If it's abetment to suicide, file an FIR. If it's homicide, file an FIR, and then proceed with the investigation. But that's not happening.
But moving away from just the investigation aspect, I want to go across to the entire aspect of threats that are being given. Chetan saying, you label a person insane. You say that we will threaten this person. There are posters of this person that are being blackened. What kind of a democratic right of this person really are we allowing? If she expresses her views, can such open threats and gag orders be allowed?
Not at all. That is absolutely arbitrary and undemocratic. First. Second most important point out here, there are certain section of media and the social media which is trying to defame the Mumbai police and the Mumbai government. This is the government. Mumbai government is the target. Why this government is in target? We all know it. Because these three parties who have come together and formed this government and successfully running the government. So this is the problem, and this is the reason that this kind of
very interestingly, you're trying to turn this into a political face-off. You're turning into a political face-off that that the BJP, the Congress, the NCP, and the Shiv Sena can do. We are talking here about the threats that are being issued. Let me also go across to Advocate Vijay Lakshmi on the broadcast with us. Threats being issued to individuals who are questioning the investigation. Threats being issued to media. An attempt to gag the media from covering this entire case because we're coming up with facts?
See, there is a fine line between threatening someone and what is happening right now. In this case especially, the media is kind of on its own suo moto conducting what is called as a media trial, and everybody has seen what happens whenever there is a media trial that takes place. And if
ma'am, threats of violence are not threats. Saying that somebody will be beaten up is not a threat.
Let me finish.
If a person says that they will come to Mumbai, if they come to Mumbai, they will be beaten up, how do you not find that a threat? I don't understand what this definition of threat is, where such a statement also does not qualify as a threat.
If people feel that they threaten to come into the state, then they can definitely take recourse.
Ma'am, did you see the statement of the MLA? Did you see the statement of the MLA?
And the Home Minister of Maharashtra?
Accusing the entire police.
If people feel that...
You don't believe, you believe only CBI. If CBI should be believed, they should have completed all their tasks. There are so many cases...
One second, Mr. Radhakrishnan, please. Let others speak also. Let others speak. I want to quickly get in a word from this. Pratik Som, how do you find this response? Because, I find it rather strange that on a day that there have been so many threats, not one, but multiple statements, here you have people still saying that what qualifies as a threat, what defines a threat is rather different.
See, those who know history know very well that voice of media cannot be suppressed.
legally, those who know history, they must be aware about the Indian Express judgment, where it is categorically mentioned that the voice of media cannot be suppressed. See, we have to find a reason behind it. They know that they are now under the trap of NCB through NDPS Act. They know that they are into something where they are not going to get bail. They know they are under the PMLA Act investigation, where they know that whatever they will speak, it will be admitted in the court of law. As they wanted a simple vanilla investigation of Mumbai police, which was pending for almost 2 months, a normal inquest, which generally ends in 1 to 2 weeks, was already stayed for 2 months. 56 witnesses were, their statements were taken.
Right, so
and
you're
finally,
saying this is an attempt to derail the investigation. You're saying this is an attempt to block media's coverage because they're being exposed. You know, we're just taking a very short break. I'm requesting all our guests to stay on with us. A very short break. We will come back with more exclusive information on the other side.